Hello everyone and welcome to today's review. Today we'll be reviewing Dead or Alive 5 Last Round for the PC. Okay, first let's talk about the characters. Altogether there are 36 characters in total, and that includes the two DLC characters, Mai from the King of Fighters series and Niao from the Destiny Warriors series. We also have Virtua Fighter characters Sarah, Jackie, Pai and Akira also making an appearance. However, the Virtua Fighter characters kind of work differently to the Dead or Alive fighters. As in, there's no reversal button like the Dead or Alive 5 characters, instead their reversals work much differently. There are also some new characters in this game, such as Hanakura and Marie, but then there are also other characters like Alpha 125, and you kind of wonder what's the point, because it's just like a Sifu Kasumi clone, mostly with Kasumi's moves, but does it really seem like there's much point? It's also rather strange as well because certain characters feel very incomplete, such as Hanakura. She feels a lot like Mokyujin from Tekken in a weird way. And she also feels incomplete move-wise because as someone who likes wrestling, she's only got about 4 or 5 wrestling moves. And it's kind of strange really, because considering that this says it's the 5th game in the series, which it's not, it's something more like the 7th or the 8th if you want to include the Ultimate version and all the other versions that have been released as well. So it's odd that characters don't feel complete move-wise, like Niao Tengo or Bass. I just feel like Bass should have more moves and that Niao Tengo should have more moves. The characters don't feel like they have as many moves as what you would expect from a game like Tekken. And that's not to take anything away from this game because I happen to prefer this game over Tekken 7, which just feels ruined and cheap to me now considering everyone just picks Hakuma and spams Fireball and Dragon Punch all the time. This game actually feels better to me. I just wish that there was more stages and more moves, that's all. So, all in all, 36 characters to play with. However, characters like Alpha 125 sort of seem pointless. Then you have the other Kasumi clone, which also sort of seems pointless. So I'd say it's about more like 34 really. That's including the DLC characters because I'm taking away the 2 Kasumis which don't really seem like they need to be there. But the point is with all these characters, it'll take you a long while before you get bored of all of them. And eventually you're going to find someone who you really like and you'll just end up maiming with. Now let's talk about the game modes. You've basically got story mode, which I don't really think many people will play because it's, well, rubbish. You've got fight mode, which is basic 1-on-1. You've got training where you can basically learn your movesets. You've got online mode, but we'll get to that later. And there's extras, we'll get to that later. Options, which isn't many. Music, which most people won't touch. And store, which is where you can buy the DLC. Now you've got a choice of either you can fight 1-on-1 or you can fight 2-on-2, but if you fight 2-on-2, you don't get all the stages. If you fight 2-on-2, you for some reason get limited stages. Like you can't fight on the beach stage, for example, if it's 2-on-2. I'm trying to remember what other stages it is you can't fight. I don't think you can fight on the rooftop stage where the train comes along when it's 2-on-2. It's not really explained why. There's also time attack mode and survival mode where you basically keep fighting until eventually you die. Which is kind of interesting, but it's not really what I personally play it for. I mean, there's a good amount of modes in the game, and it'll keep you busy for the long run, but I think most people will just basically play the game for either 1-on-1 or 2-on-2, possibly time attack mode, and that's about it really. Right, now onto online mode, which let's be honest, is terrible. You've basically got a choice of ranked match, and that's it. And as you can see, we're going to try and connect to someone. Let's just set this up. And yes, we just get a spinning loading thing and nothing else. And for those of you who have said, oh, you've not changed the region to any, we'll be doing that in just a moment to prove that it still doesn't work. And even if you are lucky enough to actually get a match with someone, what usually ends up is, even if you're on fibre broadband, for some reason the game runs at tortoise space. So don't expect to be having a proper game with anyone anytime soon. The online mode for the PC is bad. Temco have not done anything to fix it. If you're buying this game to basically play it online, buy the console version which works, because for some reason The PC one doesn't work, and that's about it. I can't really defend the PC version of online mode because it's bad. It's just very bad. So skip over it. Right, let's get on to the graphics. Now, when you basically try to load the game up, you come up with a little menu, you can change the resolution, you can put the AA up a little bit higher. That's really sort of it. For some reason, Temco didn't give you many options to play with when it comes to the graphics. Now, for some reason this is based off the PlayStation 3 version rather than the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One version, but as you can see anyway in the graphics in the background, they're very beautiful. Everything runs at a perfect 60 frames per second. I very rarely had any hair glitches or body parts moving in bits that weren't supposed to. The backgrounds look really good, the 2D textures that are laid over 3D textures are done very well. As you can see, the graphics themselves pretty much speak for themselves. They are very beautiful and everything moves very, very perfectly together. So even though you can't mess with the graphics and the settings very much, it's still very good. There are options out there if you want to mod the game, so you can basically make the graphics a little bit better. Personally, I don't really think you need the SweetFX mod. It's out there if you want it, it's always an option. As for the graphics on the stages, I think the stages are all beautifully well done. However, some do feel a tad incomplete, like something's supposed to be there but it's not. Like for example the Halloween stage, well the Haunted Castle stage, depending on which version of it you're playing on. You can basically fight your way from the top all the way to the bottom, and when you get to the bottom, I kind of feel like you're supposed to smash through those bottom doors, or you're supposed to smash through that cage where the skeletons are in the background, but nothing happens. And the graphics then are also shown really well in stages such as the circus level, where you've got all the lions and the fire in the background. But then for some reason you get that same stage twice, but not very well done. You either basically get it where the cages are around you, or for some reason the circus is half-arsed. I feel like Temco couldn't be bothered basically making 2 more stages here, just took 1 stage and just made it smaller basically. I kind of feel that the graphics in the stages are very well done, I just wish the game had more stages to begin with. Which is also a shame, because the PC version happens to be missing 2 stages that the console versions have. And you knew this part was going to come eventually. We have to talk about the DLC. The stupidly overpriced DLC. Where for some reason Temco lied to people and tried to blame Steam, and then said, oh, well, we have to put all of our DLC in packs. It's like, well, you could have just made a website, put each DLC singly, and people could have downloaded it from there. But instead it's, please buy our DLC packs for $49.99 or more, when really you only want 1 or 2 outfits. I can't really justify the DLC clothing, because it's just, well, it's insulting to the customer. You shouldn't really have to pay $56.99 or $49.99 or $29.99 for clothing DLC, when you only want 1 or 2 items from each pack, because most of the clothing is crap to begin with. Speaking of DLC, are Mai and Niao worth it? Yes, but they are quite expensive. If you don't get them on sale, they'll cost you roughly about £10, $15 or something along those lines. If you get them on sale, yeah, they're great. They're really worth it. In fact, both of these 2 girls happen to be my favourite characters, especially Mai. She's one of my favourites. Really put a lot of effort into her. I kind of wish that Temco had just put as much effort into other characters like now Tengo and Hanakura, who don't feel complete. Mai is a DLC character, and she feels more complete than these 2 girls who are actually in the game already. So, if you are going to buy these 2 characters, these 2 DLC characters, get them, but get them when they're on sale. You won't regret getting them. They're great characters. Alright, let's get down to the real meat and potatoes of why you would buy Dead or Alive 5 for the PC. It's very easy. Should I mod my game? Yes. That's the only reason you're going to buy this game, is to mod the hell out of it. I wouldn't buy it if it was just a normal game. The fact you can mod this game makes it last. It makes it worth its while. You don't have to waste money on the DLC. I mean, let's just take a look at the mods that we can get on this game alone. I mean, you can play as Cloud, for example. You can change some characters to Rebecca Chambers from the Resident Evil series. You can change some characters to Felicia from the Darkstalker series. You can change some characters to Batman. You can change some characters to Miranda from Mass Effect 2. There's a whole choice of characters that you can put into this game, and they look brilliant. They look better than the actual DLC that Temco want you to spend money on and buy. So really, why would you buy the DLC when you can just mod the game? I mean, let's take a look at some of the actual modded characters that we can put into the game. Okay, as you can see, we've just loaded up now, and we've got King from the Tekken series, and we've also got Jade from Mortal Kombat series. Now these two character models are done beautifully. Just look at how perfect these characters look in this game. They move smoothly, they look great, they're running at 60 frames per second, they're just very, very well done. Let's take a look at some other characters as well. You've got Raiden from the Metal Gear Solid series, and you've got Claire Redfield from the Resident Evil series. Again, both brilliantly well done. They move fluidly, they can move perfectly together, there's no clipping in places that you wouldn't expect. The character textures and the models are just really well done and really expertly put into the game. I find playing as mods better than the actual game characters. Okay, and let's take a look at some more modded characters. You can add Morrigan from Darkstalkers, and from the Fighting Vipers series, you can add Honey, or Candy as she's known in some regions, into the game. And this is another reason why now is my favourite character, because you can turn her into Honey, and she's always been one of my favourite characters. You can also turn Ayane into Morrigan, who is another one of my favourite characters, and Tina into Felicia, who is also one of my favourite characters. So again, this is another reason, should you mod your game? Of course you should. You can put all these amazing characters in. Okay, so, should I buy Dead or Alive 5 Last Round for the PC? Yes, but I would not advise really purchasing any of the DLC aside from the 2 DLC characters, and if you are getting it, you have to expect online mode to be a joke and not really worth your time, to be honest. If you are going to buy the game, buy it, but buy it to mod it. There's a great website out there called Street Modders where you can get all the mods from, which I would recommend that you would go there. There's some great guides on Steam which show you how to mod the game. So if you want to buy it and you want to mod it, there's where you get your information from. Again, if you are going to buy this game if you can find it on sale somewhere, because it's generally not on sale on Steam, so I'd recommend other websites. But buy the game on sale, get the DLC characters, mod it to Kingdom Come, and enjoy. I enjoyed this game a hell of a lot more than Tekken 7. I enjoyed it a hell of a lot more than Mortal Kombat 10. I'm still playing this game, while those 2 games I haven't touched in months. So yes, I definitely recommend Dead or Alive 5 Last Round, but only if you mod it. Because if you mod it, it can last you as long as the modders keep making mods for it. Well, that's the review, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it and I hope you found it useful. All credit to the guys who are on Street Modders for all the amazing mods you guys do. Keep up the good work, and thanks for watching.